Welcome to Object-Oriented Game Design. To Game Design Part 3. Game Design 3. I'm just gonna close all this from yesterday. Close all. And not make the same mistake as yesterday. I'm gonna create a new package straight away. And this will be Game Design 3. Copying over Game Design 2 code. And relabeling a few of these. It's giving me all these errors because I can't find the files it's referencing in that code. So copy over game. Copy over the graphics and the GUI packages. That should get rid of that red mark. But then we need the res folder too. How do I apply that one? There's no copy on that. Alright, so we need to create a new folder in there and copy the contents of that. Great. Res. Oh, here we go again. My computer's about to crash, I think. It doesn't like when I create folders. It goes nuts. And if I do anything now, it's just gonna use that as an excuse to crash. I'll be back in a sec with this res folder. Sorry about that. Computer's are dead. Apparently it's created, but now I need to add it. I think that's all we need to do with that. Set for copy the contents of this one. Okay. So we've got a sprite sheet, we've got our icons from yesterday's. And still got problems in GameX, it's probably the wrong package. Name, there we go. We're still keeping the title Game Design 1 because it is actually the first set of tutorials on game design I'm doing. It's not Game Design 3, but we are on a different version. So we could up this. The first one was 0, so this one would be 2. Yesterday's would be 1. Um, but again, we got this errors with the package names going on, I think. Something's not right somewhere. Main menu's got the wrong package on it, and text has got the wrong package on it. Yeah, it's still got a reference to 2 when it should be 3. In reference to the game. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Excuse the first 5 minutes of just setting this up again. I didn't think my computer was going to be that bad. Okay. So game design, part 3, and we're just going to go straight into this. Um, Game is one I want to concentrate on today because as we've got a few attributes and we need game to set a few other things up. As far as the graphics and that, and if you wanted to add a player class, you need to have a game to add the player to. And if you're going to set up a menu system, you need to have a game and a menu system too. You may even have a menu system such as the pause menu, which comes up while the game is playing. So again, you do need the game for a lot of these things before you can implement the rest. So I'm just going to go ahead with this now and try and do it as quick as I can. Get this constructor out of the way. It's not as lengthy as some, but it introduces a few more classes. So here we go. We want to create keys and or mouse inputs here. We'll probably do both as we're going to need a combination of the two for menus and games. So might as well add them to the game here. We're going to need an input for the keys and the mouse input for the mouse. And these are where the new classes come in because this one's going to be equal to a new key input. And this one is equal to new mouse input. Okay. Next thing we need to do is add these to the game. So because game's extending canvas, we can just add them to the canvas. Set keys and mouse. And this is add key listener to the canvas. Don't need to use this at this point. And that would be input inside the bracket. And the rest of these are pretty much the same, so I'm just going to copy this down. We need a focus listener, which goes to import, and then we need a mouse listener, which goes to mouse input. And we need mouse motion listener. Which also goes to mouse input. The next bits are we need IMG, new buffer image. And we need three arguments inside there. Need the if we want to use the game width here or frame width. Alright, did we do get game width in here or did we get game width in here? Did main width in here, so it's gonna be game design 3, get main width, game design 3, get main height. The final one is buffered image. Type in RGB. And that's that one. Then we need pixels. And that's got some funny code on my channel, but it's dot get data at the end. And then the centerpiece is data buffer and is the cast, and it's img get raster dot get buffer data. Oh no, get data buffer. And then get the data and send that into the pixels. Okay. Okay, there's a few things there that we might add, just as commented out at this point. This part would be set the game sound, whether the game sound is on or not. But obviously we've got no sound class at this point, so this won't mean much as far as being functional. Game sound on, and that's going to equal game get game sound. Okay, so I just see a few classes and a few modules to create at that point. To which I'm going to add a few more. You might have one of those games where you want a game timer or level timer. So just to keep track of that, when the game first starts, we'll have one that's set to 0. If you click new game in the middle of a game, you might want to reset the player score. So reset score will be in here too. Again, if you're resetting the game, you might want to reset game time. And if you're just starting the game, it won't be paused. So you want to get paused to equal false at that point and keep a track of that from the point when the game starts. And finally, you want to initiate your game. with player level or variables to do with, wherever you are in the game at this point when it's first loading. So as you can see, we've got a few attributes and modules to get through here to get rid of all these red lines, but that is the game constructor. Um, just to put in there quickly, uh, these initiate um, modules are always private, you and they never return anything either. So it's always private void in it for initiate. There's quite a bit of code to go now, obviously, and depending on what game logic you've got, it might be different from one game to the next. So we're going to leave that there at that point. Um, yeah, setting up states and state manager, and like we said yesterday, the game is also going to need a start and a stop. So let's just copy these down. These are public, I think. But let's try putting them in private anyway. Start, stop, run, tick and render. So start, start, run, tick and render. Now as you can see, these are, as you could probably guess, these are from extending runnable and creating threads. So another variable we're going to need in there is a thread, and that gets initialized in the start. So we'll probably go straight into that now. Starting with a system dot front line, just to say that this is the point when we're starting the game. But just to be clear, that is starting in game and not somewhere else. Or it might be starting somewhere else, but on these games, the one who's calling it out, if running a new variable, return. You don't need to start it if it's already running. If not, set running equal to true, and create a new thread and start it. So thread equals new thread, and instead of referring to this, but given our extended runnable, and then just call it the call it game thread. I was going to call it main thread, but just so we know which thread is running, I guess. Here we go. Thread equals new thread. This game thread, and then just start thread. Okay. And stop is very similar to that, so I'm just going to copy this code out. This will be stopping it. And if not running, return. Otherwise, running equals false. And then it's just a system out exit. Because although we might do a system exit as well as stopping the game, then that stops the thread as well, I believe. In fact, we should have done a thread join at that point, but I'll find that code out at some point. I think thread join is being replaced with system exit, but don't quote me on that. I think I read that somewhere in Stack Overflow. Okay, and again we need comments on those. Which we can then copy down to the rest. Okay, so let's start, stop, and the constructor dealt with. Um, Obviously we need some more code and initiate. We've got a few classes to create here as far as the input goes, which denotes a new package. Once they're created, these errors will go. And we've got two variables there, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seven, yeah, about another 7 variables, as well as those two classes, and a few modules as well, one, two, three. Yeah, so quite a bit in the game class to get on with, so I might as well get on with that now. We need a field for image, which is going to be a buffered image, which is quite easy to figure that one out. Put it in the right place, but still need the comments. And private final might be a problem though. We might just have to do private. Pixels won't let me add it at this point because it's got so many that needs to get. This game sound can be added. I'm not sure if it's gonna have to be static. It's definitely a boolean. And we could probably set that true as default at this point. Not that we have any sound, but yeah, just the functionality of it. Game timer and paused. Game time is going to be an int. And when you first start the game, it should be 0. And pause is a boolean. And again with the comments. Pause should be false, but we're doing that constructor anyway, so don't need to set it there. Game time is 0. Oops. Game sound on true. Now and we need input and mass input with their links, so let's put them under there. Key input. It's called input. And then we're going to mass input. And that's called mass input. Alright. Getting there. So once they're created, we'll be able to get rid of those red lines. Get game sound. Can now create that. And the other two methods. Yeah, no, that's been put at the top. Might as well put them there as well. Oh, that's gone to the bottom. And that's gone to the bottom. Okay. So, yeah, Netbeans got a bizarre way of just deciding to put these anywhere, so bear that in mind when you get Netbeans to create methods. Alright, and what do you want this? Initiate, start, stop, run, take render, put on the render. Get game sound, so that's going to be returning the variable we just created, which is game sound on. But because we might want to have a menu item to turn the game sound off or a key to it, we do need a set as well. That needs to be static. Thought it might. Static boolean game sound on. But let's create a setter for that as well. Insert code setter for game sound on. Generate. Yeah, I thought you might put it there. Copy and drag it down to where it should be. Here we go. Let's grab these comments. Game sound on. Game sound on. And then a return. That can just be sound on. Just lessen any confusion. Okay, so got rid of a few of these red lines here. The main class is rendering tick and runner. I'm not done yet. Reset score, reset game time. So these are just going to be setting these variables to 0. Game timer. Yeah, probably pointless doing this twice in the constructor though. I think we'll just hit that at once. Reset game time. We'll set it to 0 if it's not already 0, which I believe it is in the when we first initialize it. So that's the line of code we don't need. So already 0 at the top there, and then we're going to reset it to 0 anyway if we've created a new game after this has been created. Reset score. Do we do a variable for the score? No. I call it game score at this point, but we may change this in the future. And again, when the game starts, that's going to be 0. And when we reset it, we want it back to 0 also. Okay. And again, add the comments. Okay. Separate these up as such, just so they're easier to read. And then finish these comments. We'll do these last few variables. Okay. Alright, so with a reset score, reset game time, get game sound, set game sound. And that should just be set game sound. Just to keep in the convention with not calling it game sound. Okay. Instead of game sound on, that just doesn't sound right. Set game sound to on or off. That's right. It'll run, tick and render to do, and a couple of variables here. Running and thread. And a couple more classes there. Let's do the running. Create a field. Do the same with a friend. Like that. Create a field with friend. Yep. Let's got rid of all of them. Let's give me a few different ones. Although it is background scanning, it's not recognized that as a thread. And use variables, not links. And variables need comments too. Okay. I give them some comments too. Ah, need to import thread, I think. No. Need to implement runnable. And maybe import it as well. Implements. There we go. Yeah, gotta make sure you spell things right because Java's a funny language like that. So I think we just got a few more variables to set up. And then this class should be done. For now at least. Two more classes that set one variable, couple of imports, and then we're cooking with gas. Then that needs to override. Try public. And these might need to be public as well. Just to initiate it remains private. I think the tick and the render might end up public too. Okay, pixels. Add an import for data buffering from image. Yeah, that's fine. And create a field out of pixels. Those pixels set up the right kind of field. Shouldn't be final for a start. I know you claim it can be final, but don't matter. Try that. Is that missing a couple of brackets? Yeah, I thought so. It did seem like a name to a module, get raster, instead of a variable. So that made sense. So we've got these two classes created just to deal with the imports. And then we've got a few modules to fill in down here, run, tick, and render. Alright, let's create these new classes. And they don't take any arguments, do they? Neither take any arguments in the constructor, so we'll get Netbeans to create them. But obviously they're gonna be don't want them in a source package, don't want them in class. I'm gonna have to create them myself though. Go to the source, new Java class, key import. Wanna create a package called import. We need another one, Java class, called mouse import. In the import package. Then we just need to go back to game and import the new classes. But then we've got to create the constructors if we're going to use it. But instead of importing two different ones, I'll just import the package now. And same with OR. Okay. Now we need the constructors created, and that's what's going on now. And it needs to extend key listener in the key input, and extend mouse listener in the mouse input. Alright. So what does it say? Key input, key listener in the key input. X key listener and import key listener. No interface. Convert extends key listener, implements key listener. Got enough. Key input. We need to override implement all abstract methods. Key type, key press, key release. Yeah, that's fine. And it needs to implement key listener, not extend, which is my mistake. And this one is mask listener. And again, it's implements. Okay. Import that and then do the methods. Implement all abstract methods. Mouse click, mouse press, mouse release, mouse enter, mouse exit. Save. We'll fill all that in at a later date. Now what have we got here? Key import cannot be converted to focus listener. So key import implements key listener focus listener. Is that right? just add it. And again with the abstract methods of focus gain, focus lost. So implement all those. We'll fill them in about key listener and focus listener on the key input. We'll get rid of those. And then we need a mask motion listener on this. I think it's mask motion listener, not motion listener. Let's try it. Mask listener, mask motion listener. Add the import and implement all abstract methods of mask drag, mask move. Cool. So they're all the ones we need to fill in the mask input. So mask click, mask press, mask release, mask ended, mask exit, mask drag, and mask moved. And key type, key press, key release, focus gain, and focus loss in the key input. Why is texture doing that? It's not been saved. Okay, back to game. Now I implemented the constructor in game, and it doesn't like game sound on being static. It's telling me I should replace this with game. Excuse me. Yeah, so if you make it static, you can't really use this unless you're referring to someone that's not static. I don't know. Yeah, I lost on that one. Okay. Next, we should move on to then we could do the run method. We need a is running in there somewhere too. Okay, so I should use that so we can see. Need to create the run. This is, basically the same as churn out code. This run. I've augmented it a little. So when it first starts, we're gonna need a system out. Running game. I can spell it out. Then we need a few variables double. Nanoseconds. And nanoseconds is equal to 1 with 9 zeros. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.0. Over 60 if we want 60 frames a second. Tell you why that might not be a good idea in a second when I figure it out. If you paint to the screen 60 times a second, that might be good for a slow and old computer. But some of these new computers can actually do 60 times a second. If you try and play a game that's supposed to be played at 24 frames a second and 60 frames a second, you're going to have a better problem keeping up. So next one is long, and this is previous time, and this is equal to system dot nano time. What next? Got a delta, double delta, which is equal to 0. Frames which is something we need outside of this, is equal to 0. In updates is equal to 0. Long timer is equal to system dot current time milliseconds. And then we've got the while running loop. A variable we create a short time ago. There we go. So while it's running, need another while loop in there, which we'll fix in a minute. We need a few more in there. While running, we need a long current time, which you really shouldn't do inside this while loop. You shouldn't create new objects inside a while loop. You should just update current objects that exist. And I don't think doing a long current time equals system nano time. Is the best way to do it, because that's creating a new object every time that goes through. Whereas you could create the current time outside of the loop, and then it would just update that every time. And I think I'm going to do that like that. But that's two to create here. We've got the frames and what happened there? Yeah, frames and the current time. After the current time, we've got delta, which is plus equals current time previous time of nanoseconds. So times previous time minus previous time over nanoseconds. And then previous time equals current time. Okay. If delta is less than or equal to 1, tick updates plus plus and delta minus minus. Okay, now the second while loop. Our system current time minutes minus timer greater than a grand. And do all this. Timer plus equals to 500. Game timer plus equals 1. Game. No, not game abort. This is something that's not implemented yet. Game score. equals score. But that's to do with the player, so we'll comment that out at this point. But it does need to be updated as and when everything else is updated, or it won't make any sense. Then we need the FPS. Another variable to create equals frames. Then the UPS, which equals updates. Then we need these same variables in strings, so the FPS, UPS, and FPS equals the FPS plus a string equals UPS plus a string. The string is just simply FPS UPS. Then we just need to reset frames 0. Do the same with updates. And outside that while loop, render, update the frames, increase the frames, and then this would be another one that's commented out, set score. It's a score. That's it for the run method. Obviously we've got a few variables to create. And a code I'm missing. Okay. Frames. Let's do these quick. Field. Current time. Current time should be long, shouldn't it? If we don't make a long out of that current timer, I'll have a problem. Yeah, it's made it long. Okay, what next? FPS, UPS, current field, current field, current field. Hopefully that's a string. Current field. Alright, we're getting there. So there's the run. System printout start with setting the nanoseconds to 60 frames a second, setting the previous time in nanoseconds, resetting the delta, initializing delta, resetting the frames, initializing updates, timer set to current time milliseconds, and we do a while running loop. Current time is constantly updated to nanotime seconds, delta is constantly updated or added to with that. Previous time is then set to current time. We tick if the delta is above or equal to 1, increase the updates, decrease delta. Alright, then every second we add 1,000 to the timer, increase the gain timer by 1 with update the score there, that was implemented. Set the frames to FPS or FPS to frames, UPS to updates. Set the string versions of those up using those same variables. Reset the frames, reset updates, then render, then increase the frames. Alright. And then we would set a score at the end there, but that's not implemented, so we've got the tick and the render already in, and the updates here. Sure, we could do this. Don't want to tick. Do a system. Print line. DFPS. And that should print out the FPS every second, I think, once it's running. And I don't think there's any reason it shouldn't run at this point. All the functionality won't be there, obviously, but we should get some output with that. But all of these are not links. These are attributes, variables. Variables need comments too. Okay, easy enough. So yeah, this section of attributes is building up quite a bit. We started with just the 4 or 5 yesterday, I think, and now we've got quite a few, but still no constructor here, so let's try and keep it clean. Okay, it's quite a piece of code. Got nothing on the initiate yet, but we can throw a comment on that. Okay, and I think we should try and run it there. Let's mess them up. And that should tell us if all of these are running with a section to the stop. We should get that stop command after we stop the game or exit the game. Should get the FPS out on the tick. We've got nothing to render at this point, but that will be next, I think. Get game sign, set game sign, reset score, reset game time. All common functions of the game class. Let's run this. See what we get. If we get any output, I don't know what Netbeans is up to today. Okay. Load the sprite sheet, the icon. Create a new game, initiated a new game, create a new menu, create a status bar, and then run into a problem with mouse centered, not yet supported. So it's looking for these, it's looking to use these methods straight away, which is not something we really want to do. All we need to do is remove these, throw new on supported operations, and that should be fine. So the only reason it's through an error because we told it to throw an error, or Netbeans told it to throw an error when it created this. But we will implement them, we're just not doing them right now. But it was good to see that it got through most of those classes and was able to tell us where it stopped. Just with the output at the bottom there. It's going to be the same with its key types, I think. Okay, try again. No errors this time. Um, Initiating the game. New menu and status bar created. Now, one thing we forgot to tell it to, although we initiated the game, we didn't start the game. So we need to add that piece of code as well. But the rest seems to work fine. There's no errors, and we'll find out if it's running any second now. So you wouldn't necessarily start the game from inside there. We might start from the level or somewhere else. But this start should work with no parameters. Leaking this in the constructor. Thought it said we couldn't make it private. Is that going to cause problems? No errors. So this start, but then change the start method to private. There must be just a run that needs to be public. Okay. Oh, no, no, no. Now we're getting frames per second. Nearly 250,000 frames per second. I don't know if I trust those numbers though. But yeah, our run method is actually working. It's printing out that. Very bad idea to print things in a while loop like this, but just for demonstration purposes, that line of code's in. Just to show you that we are actually getting some sort of output here. I think I might have put one too many zeros in. I think it's 8 zeros and then a point zero in the nanosecond section of the run here. Try moving one of those. I know it's 9 zeros, but I don't know if it's one after as well or one included after the dot. Oh, we're still getting variation now. Yeah, that's what happens when you miss one of the zeros out. It drops to 412 frames and then goes way back up to 50 or 500,000 frames. So that zero should have been in there. That's right. There was no fluctuation that much when it was in. It will start off with no start. There were no frames or FPS is not set up with the value to start with. And now it's steady on 400 and so many thousand frames per second. Imagine if you had graphics in here, this would drop dramatically. But even if it went down to 43, 44 frames a second, that's still playable. Alright, that's the game class out the way. I'm gonna take a break now and come back to see what else we can throw in there. A tick in the run that might be interesting to do next. Alright. Okay, so now I've got the run method and the start and the stop. We actually used the stop twice yesterday. Once then exit game here, which I'm now going to uncomment, save this code in that, and again in game design on the exit, custom exit. Okay, but what could we do here? Because these two commands are being used commonly across more than one class, we could probably move them both into game and just do a quick game module. Because we've got game in here because we create game in here, but we've also got game in main menu as the argument that we pass through. Give me an error because that's not created, so let's create that. Find out where Netbeans is put up, and throw that code in there. And this is going to need to be a static, I think. Let's just stop. Save. That's fine in there, but I think it's going to need to be static to be used in the main menu here. Just gives it one less line of code. Yeah. Needs to be public. Okay. So I just tidies that up a little. Save. Writing out the same two lines of code over and over again. Just replace it with the one. Means another module in game, but it's going to be a module that is used in quite a few places, so I'd expect at least those two. Alright, so that's replacing that those lines of code in there, and that line of code in there, or those lines of code. Alright, let's get into this render. Game render. In here we're going to need to create a buffer strategy. So we just got up BS. We're going to try and get buffer strategy. Let's spell it right. And then if we can't find BS, then we're going to create it. Create a buffer strategy with 3 as the argument, and return. But create buffer strategies, we do need to surround it and try and catch. Let's create this BS first as a field. Okay. And seems we're not being offered that. Oh, typing myself. Exception E. And again, just return. Or reckons the returns are unnecessary, but we'll leave them in anyway. Once that's done, we need a graphics G. Now it's equal to BS get draw graphics. Then we're going to convert that graphics to 2D. We're going to have to cast that. Initial G is a 2D. Alright. At this point, because it's not 2G, you can set the rendering hints. I don't know if you do this with just the G, but rendering hints. Key anti-aliasing. Rendering hints. Value anti-aliasing on. But you can turn it off there at that point as well. Just leave that line of code out, but I like to add that. Okay, now what? G2D dot draw image. I need the image, the X, Y, width, height, and image observer. Think that one. So IMG 00 speed game width. There is such thing. No. Get game width. Get game height. And no. Get the wrong key there. There we go. Now these are in the same class, so I don't know why that. Get game width or get main width. Alright, where do we set these up? We don't. Okay. Where's this width and height going? To the render. So if game's gonna render something out, then it needs to have some variables in it, I think. Can't render a game out of a certain height if you don't know what the height and the width is gonna be. So this game width equals width. this game height equals height. Then we can use these variables in our on the render. And all we have to do then is create them at the top. And pass them through here. We're already using them at this point to create the dimensions of the frame, so might as well reuse them now. Makes sense. Okay, so a couple more variables in there. I don't think they're going to change, so private finals fine. But again with the comments. Okay. Quite a few in there. See, the model is going to be massive if you add all those to it. But we're getting there. Buffer strategy is variable. Okay. Now we need to add these as parameters. Okay. So printing out that the new game's been created, setting the width and the height, creating a new key input, new mouse input, adding key listeners, focus listeners, mouse listener, mouse motion listeners, create the image in the pixels, determining whether the game sounds on or off, reset score, reset game time, set the pause defaults, initiating the game and then starting the game, but the start can actually be moved into initiate, because even though you've initiated your game, you might not want to start it straight away, so again this may move again, but at this point we can leave it in the initiate, and I don't even think it needs this at the start. Okay. And again, because we've got the system exit on the quick game and the game stop, I don't think that's needed there. It's just doubling up the code. Leave it commented out for this point. The run method's fine. Tick works. And we still need to finish this. Okay, so once we set the rendering hints and the draw image, we need the G dispose. And the BS show. Okay. And just to separate these things out here. That's the end of the graphics. And that will be the start of the graphics. Alright, so any other classes like state manager or screen that need rendering would go in here. State manager render, and that would have the G2D in there. We don't have a state manager at this point, so we'll comment that out. Another class we don't have yet would be a screen class, and that would render with a few arguments to um, this game and the G2D. But again, we don't have that, so I'm just gonna comment that. But yeah, you draw the IMG pixels and maybe your menu on top, or maybe your animations and your graphics on top of that, or instead of that. How would that work? Let me see. Just be adding menus at that point. I'll leave that bit there. That's the render. And we'll draw the image on at the moment, but there's nothing there, so we may get a black screen at this point. So I'll give it a go. Yep, there's our pixels, but we're off center. Yeah, off center by about 6 pixels on this right hand side here, which is not good. And our frame rates dropped dramatically down to 105 frames, 96, 111, about 100 frames per second. Just because we're rendering this in the background here. Okay. Way to fix that is the X should be on 6, I think. Is that right? Let's try that. I think because the border's in the way, it might be 4. I think the border's 2. Yeah, the border's 2. This needs the width extended by 4, I think it is. So we drop that back down to 0. It's game width plus 4 due to the border around the frame. It's a really messy way to do that. Game width plus 4, we should really just change game width to have the additional 4, but then that's going to cause problems elsewhere if we don't need that additional 4. We just need the width. Okay. Maybe it should have been -4 or 8. Let's try 6. It's just trial and error at this point. It's actually 8. Then the border must be there's the 4 pixels either side going. That's what I want to know. Okay, still 1 more, 2 more. Alright, so instead of doing this, I'm going to use another genius piece of code. After the rendering hints there, which is probably what the problem is, if I turn that off there, it's probably fixed the problem. Let's just resort it back to where it was. Yeah, okay, so G2D, translate, and we want is X and Y here, so we'll go -6 and 0. So we don't want to move it down at all or up. That seems to be in the right place. Wrong direction. Okay, now we're missing the width for there. Ah, this is tedious. Yeah, very tedious. If we put a translator on them, the width don't work. It's crazy. Alright, +10. Perfect. Don't know why we're 10 pixels short. The border can only be, I don't know, it must be 5. The default border on this frame must be 5. That's terrible. Alright, so we're at a full screen again. We're getting 98 frames a second, and the frame part really is now complete. We do have a game Clash running in the background here, or we won't have this black screen. It does actually fill the screen now. We've got the status bar, exit game, game stopping. There we go. So our stop class has actually been called by clicking the red button. Our stop method even. Yeah, don't know why that is. Anyone can figure that out, let me know. But no idea why game width is 10 different now. Do think it's the border though. But it does work. We got the graphics on the screen now. And a new quick game class working, which stops the game and exits the game. Okay, what next? We don't need that there, that works. Tick. Let me draw this tick out. Yes, we can. Just not too sure how we do it now. It's going to be a G2D. We need a draw text. Draw Charles. Draw shape. So no draw text, is it just draw? Um, FPS, is it? It's FPS. We need an X and a Y, so X, Y. What else do we need? Color, I believe. I think it's just the X and the Y. Alright, what do we call the FPS? and run capitals. Yeah, I completely forgot to draw text. Alright, I'll come back to that. Yeah, I thought it was something very simple. Draw string. Yeah. So now we're drawing the image underneath, which is black. We need to set the color of this. Yeah, yellow will do just so it shows up. And it should be able to see the FPS. We need it slightly above near the bottom. So game height -20. So yeah, g2d dot draw string, then a string, and then an x and a y. No idea what font it's going to be in or whether it's even going to show up. We've got some problems there. String is no. Yeah, because we didn't set it to start with. Yeah, because it starts off no with that tick as well. I remember it saying. So let's give it a value. It's first initialized. Ooh, 0 plus the FPS. Just so it's not no. Shouldn't be any errors now. But it should be turning up on the screen, that's not fair. I think the size by J label at the bottom might be obscuring it. So I'll have to find it again. No, still that. -20 is probably not enough. -4. And the 10 might not be enough in fact, but we'll see. There we go. Yeah, don't know why it was so far down, but or why this is so thick. We're getting about 150, 120 frames per second on that. It's pretty cool. I'm tired. So we do have the game in the background. There's no game logic to it whatsoever at this point. But if we were to create a player class and give it an image, we could probably render it out on top of this game at this point. So we're building things up and we're getting there slowly. But some things take longer than others with this, I must say. Yesterday's menu um, action listens took really long time. I really shouldn't have took that much time with those, but you can't really help when you're sitting there trying to code, even if you got the code right in front of you to copy off, how things are gonna work out, what they're gonna work straight away. You could mistype anything really. Um, but with these comments here and with the output at the bottom, it's a lot easier to find what's wrong straight away. without going through miles and miles of code, you know. Yeah, as you can see, we're looking at creating a couple more classes here, and they're both going to have render methods in, but they're going to be slightly different from this. But some of the arguments from here will be passed through, no doubt. We got rid of that tick, so that's not in the way now. We got the game score to sort out, which could be really the player score, but we'll see where we're putting that. And we sorted out the initiating the game and the start method. So all the methods that we've created so far are in use except for the key inputs and the mass inputs. Um, they really just are tedious parts, but if we're gonna do a player class, we are gonna need key typed, and we're probably gonna need a tick, an input tick. Yeah, yeah, there's probably gonna be a tick method in there to update these. Okay, alright. I do believe that shouldn't have the PNG on the end on this texture class here. No, it does need the PNG. Although I don't see why we can't add it there. Uh, okay, moving back to what we did earlier with this key input. Got a game created, and an obvious evolution at this point for this system would be to add a level and a player. The level is going to be quite an extensive class, so I'm resisting that one. But the player itself also needs a few other classes that it relies on, such as the key input. So I'm going to go with this one straight away. And some of these won't actually be needed, so I'll be getting rid of one or two of these classes here, and probably replace them with some other classes. But as we mean to go on, let's grab some comments. Yeah, first one I'll do. Because we are going to need some variables, I know. Not sure about a constructor though. No constructor needed. Okay. I don't think there's any links here. Alright. First attribute is private static final in num keys equals 256. Okay. Variable of key input. Okay. Next one is public static final. Boolean array keys. So num keys is the argument. Okay, this one's almost identical to this, so copy, paste, plus keys or keys. So the rest of that one. Then we're gonna need some player key variables, I think. Static boolean. Oh, because these are all the same, I'm just gonna copy this down. Down. Left. Right. And file. Although you could have jump, and you may have a game with jump and fire, but most of the games with jump and fire are stupid, so we're not going to do that. Key released is keys equals false, and that's key event E get key code is false. Key press is identical to that. Except it's true. Okay, that's those two done. Focus lost is a for loop. And inside the for loop, all the keys are false. Keys. Okay, and that's going to be an int I equals 0. As I is less than keys length. I plus plus. And that's that one done. Alright, there should be 3 left at this point. Key type. I'm going to change that to is key down. I'm going to change that to an int. It doesn't override. So keys key. It's not void though, it is static boolean. Okay. Now it wants parameter and all kinds of stuff there, so here's keyed on. Written by Boss Let's Play, I believe. But anyway, it works. Okay, getting there. Two more to go. One's pressed, one's released. And that's also a static boolean. And it's int key. Was press return is keyed on. Key is the argument. And not the last key. Better spell this one. Number one down. Okay, one more. This is identical to this. I'll release. It's not the key down, but it is the last key pressed. Okay. That one's simple enough to do, although we're still going to tick method. Alright. I think I've taken one too many out. I think the focus still needs to be in. Focus gained, yeah. Don't take out focus gained, it's needed. Okay. This red marker should go now. Nope. How about taking one more? Oh, I've done the wrong bit at the top here. Should be implements focus listener, but extends key adapter, which includes the key listener. So get rid of that. So yeah, so we didn't need the key listener specifically to control all of those. Now we've got problems down there. Extends key adapter, so add import for the key adapter. Oh, that was simple enough. Yeah, so that's how it should look. I did it wrong the first time. Just guessing as I went through. Yeah, no errors, no. But all the empty focus gain, complete focus loss. Was released, was pressed, key release, key pressed. Is key down. And we just need the tick to deal with these up, down, left, right, and jump. Fire even. Let's get straight into that. So below our focus game, we now do a public static void tick. We're gonna need a few arguments in there. But we need game menu and player. Uh, but we don't have a menu or a player at the moment, so not too sure how to approach this. I think it might just be best to comment that out at this point, but to let you know that they are needed or will be needed. Alright, so I want to set the up equal to false, and same with all the rest. When you first tick, so up, down, left, right, all set to false. Right. Then you want to set them to the key events. So if any of those two keys are pressed, then that's that will be true. Key event VK W is W. So if W is pressed, up is true. And key event VK underscore up is pressed, then up is true. And again, just copy this down for all the rest, except this final one. It's only got the one key. Oops. space for file. Down is S. Down. Left is A. Left. Right is D. Right. Alright, getting that. Okay. Just a couple of extras here, I think. If firing, you don't want a permanent fire. Fire is true. So keys, key, UK underscore space equals false. Just so you don't get a stuck fire button. And the other one we can implement here is just copy this code out. If escape key is pressed, escape key is false. But game paused equals true. That should really be in another oh, we already had a game in there. Right, so yeah, this is where we need the game. Or is that? Guess you could use either for that. No, pause is not public. Alright, undo that, import, and this is the only one we've got so far. Let's just add it into the tech, and then we're gonna have to import anyway, and that could be lowercase g. Oh, here we go. Needs to be public in-game paused. Paused, okay, so it's a public boolean. On the paused, okay. Let's go rid of that. So we're setting the keys to false straight away, defining what keys go to which booleans. If fire is pressed, setting fire false. Yeah. If escape is pressed, we're setting false to true, as well as we're setting escape to false and space to false. Yeah. Alright. After that, you would have the player tip. That would have some arguments in. You'd send the game through to player. But you also send the up, down, left, right, and the file. But we don't have a player yet, so we can't add that bit yet. I'm going to comment that. Ready. But that's the key input tick. Basic for it. Let me think. Again, if you had a menu system, then you would do menu.tick, and the player and the menu wouldn't be on the screen at the same time, so you'd have to do them in the if else. Finally, you would need for loop. Then I equals 0, as long as I is less than num keys, and I plus plus. And then simply class keys I equals keys I. And I'm assuming that just resets all the keys now. Ready for starting again on the next tick. Alright. Says your tick class in key import. Focus gain, focus loss, was released, was pressed, key released, key pressed, is key done, no constructor, and a lack of comments up there. Okay. Alright. Down, left, right, and far. Key import complete. Ready to update our player once we've created that. And move our player with these keys to pause our game. So getting there. Mass import is just as complicated, I would suspect. It is. But might as well get out of the way. What we on there? 59 minutes. I think I should come back to the mass import. It's a 2-hour clip, and what did we do today? Finished off the game. The majority of this. Did the key import. And drew pixels from the game onto the screen. Although we were out by 10 pixels, we fixed that. And we're getting 112 frames on the screen. It's cool. Alright, come back next time. We'll get on with the mouse input before moving on to the player, I think. We'll have to add a few more draw methods to render to get any player on the screen, but once we got a player on the screen, we can now move them around. So in theory, oh, 120 frames and 2, 4, 6, 8 classes. No idea how many lines of code. But yeah, I should add those to the model really, shouldn't I? Maybe start a Excel spreadsheet of content ready for when we add some more to this, and a Word document for requirements engineering, writing down what all these are and why they're needed. But yeah, that's where we are. Frame with a menu, status bar, game in the background, updating at 110 frames per second. It's pretty cool. We got a running game, start game, initiate game, new game created, textures loaded. Uh, the reason texture's not coming up is new texture created is it's one of them that's in a loop. You will also always call the texture to create these images before the game starts. So it is, although not directly in the loop, it is pretty much a loop. That's why there's no system printout texture there. Render. Render should have one, but we're not actually calling it yet. Though we could. Main menu. Copy over to render. Paste that out. Then maybe, I don't know, maybe it's created in the background. I can't recall if we did or not. Yeah, we did. Create a new render here. When it created sprite sheet. But I think, again, that's in a loop, so I probably wouldn't put that in. There's no construction key input or mass input, so there's no point in putting them in there. Yeah, and the render one, it's probably best to do that. Unless you had a problem with rendering, then you'd come back and uncomment that. But yeah, we need a few more draw methods, and we need to fix the scale draw and add a few more. But not bad. 3 tutorials and we've got 110 frames per second. So pretty good. And we've got the icon coming up down the bottom there as well. See you next time on Game Design.